So here's another example of can I trust my eyes? And this came out a couple years ago, and it had to do with this photo right here. And I remember in the teacher's lounge, the teacher's going, "You know color. What color is this dress?" And I could tell they were trying to trick me with it. And I honestly said it depends on the lighting. And I remember Mr. Kimball being, "No, it's a blue and gold dress," and it really had to do with this thing called context. And these guys do a great job at describing this.
Alright, so the world has seemingly become utterly divided on this dress. What colors do you see? On the one hand, we have team black and blue. On the other, team white and gold. We asked on Twitter and got hundreds of responses for both white and gold and black and blue. For what it's worth, we both saw black and blue and thought this was a massive prank at first. So how can it be possible for people to see it so differently? It's a phenomenon known as color constancy. Take this cube, for example. The middle square on the top appears to be a shade of brown, while the one on the side looks much more orange. But in actuality, they're both the exact same color. We promise we haven't cheated here or done any trick photography. Instead, our brain looks at the context, sees a shadow, and instantly thinks, oh, shadows make objects appear darker. And so the brain compensates and interprets the square as lighter than it appears, until the shadow is taken away. Back to the dress, and we have a similar situation, except here the context is very arbitrary. We're so close up to the dress that we don't really know its surroundings, and the brain has to make assumptions. People who picture the dress as white have brains which may be interpreting the dress in a blue lit room, for example, as in it's near a window with a bright blue sky. It makes perfect sense then that the white dress would be tinted blue and that the gold color wouldn't really change. On the other hand, the brains of people who see it as black and blue may be interpreting the dress in an artificially lit setting like somewhere with yellow lights. As a result, the brain sees the gold as just a reflection off of the black and believes that the blue has been unaffected. Chances are that this image just happens to be perfectly ambiguous to our brain, meaning it all comes down to individual perception and even how and where you view the image. From a factual standpoint, the dress is blue. In fact, here are some other pictures of it. But this is a beautiful example of how our brains have evolved to interpret the world around us without us even realizing. Want more answers to the world's craziest phenomena? Get the ASAP Science book to feed your curiosity at asapscience.com/book. We'll put a link in the description. And subscribe to our channel for more weekly science videos.
I love that group. They do such a great job. Now, you can think of this as really frustrating. If there's no real true color, then what do I paint or how do I paint? And that could be really confusing and frustrating. And so that's not my goal here. I wanted to show you one of my works of art that's in my book, Reflections of Me. And this gives us artists a thing called freedom. We're free to really have fun with color, because color can be different things. This is brown hair, but I was able to put blue stripes in it. In her pinkish brown skin, I was able to put purple and green and yellow in. And I love putting colors in different places all the time. Yeah, our brain reads this as the yellow bulldozer, but I was able to reflect that yellow off of her hands, or the blue. This is actually pretty. Let me see here. You were just to look at that. That is one of my favorite reflective colors off of skin, is that turquoise. That blue-green, and I like to repeat it over here. And by doing that, I'm doing more than just coloring the face the color that it was. I'm also telling the viewer how to look at stuff. So this reflection right here, your brain sees that. You might not think, while looking at this painting, that's important. But by putting that there and then reflecting that in a little bit of her nose right here and a little bit of the side of her face, that just makes that dimensional, especially when I'm trying to curve it around in some weird way to make it look like it's in a sphere. I really needed that space to make sense. So by putting that reflective turquoise from the left side, and I do purple from the bottom, and maybe some yellows straight up, that helps the viewer not just read her face, but read the whole background here. So anytime I had a chance to throw in a little extra purple, Believe it or not, these wheels I have a lot of pink and purple in those, and I was able to just have fun with the colors, you know. Look, there's a purple stripe on that yellow, and that brings it out a little bit more. Not just using black and kind of the traditional colors. So when you're doing your, I want you to get another 15 minutes, maybe a half hour on your still life painting. Hopefully that's going really well for you right now. Really, I'm going to have this due at the end of the week, this week for you. So work today, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and actually get that all the way done and finished up, and then we can start another project.